Chelsea.
Okay, all right, let's call the meeting to order. Welcome everyone to, I can't believe it's 2026, but it is.
It is.
So welcome back. Dawn, could we call the roll, please?
Of course. I also want to remind everyone that we are live streaming and recording this meeting, and both of those processes have already started. Wendy Clark, Heidi DeWingert,
Hello?
Tim Hodges,
Here.
Commissioner Mascara Bruno,
Okay, I'll text it.
Here.
Matt Puglisi, Chelsea Ross,
Here.
Lisa Tepper Bates, Greg Ugalde,
Present.
Sean Williams. We do have a quorum in attendance for this meeting.
Okay,
I also want to add, if we have anyone who's attending virtually who needs to leave at any time during the meeting, please let me know. You can post in the chat, send me an email. This will help our record keeping if we end up taking votes without a roll call, as we need to comply with statutory requirements regarding virtual public hearings. Thank you.
okay, thank you. All right, first up on our agenda is the resolution regarding financing for 143 Percival Ave, Berlin by Liz.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
This is a 4% LIHTC project in Berlin. The site is a former vacant Knights of Columbus building in a residential area. The building will be demolished, and plans include the construction of 2 buildings housing 70 elderly units with 90 surface parking spaces. Units are 1 and 2 bedroom, and the income restricted to 50 and 60% AMI. The development team is very well known to CHFA. This financing structure is relatively new. It's similar to that of 10 Ellis, Windward, Willow Creek, and others, where CHFA comes in at the construction completion and takes out the taxable bond lender. CHFA pays off the construction loan for up to 10 months. Then we are paid down to the permanent loan amount through LIHTC equity and DOH funds. The financing sources in this project are relatively few and simple. We have Webster, LIHTC, and DOH at construction. And PERM, we have LIHTC, Deferred Developer Fee, CHFA Opportunity Funds, and DOH. And Webster is new to us with this financing structure. And in this instance, they ordered the appraisal and the investor ordered the market study. Both of the reports were completed for CHFA's benefit. And the market study prepared by Novogradac and appraisal by CBRE commented on some of the specs that were deemed inferior to the market. The small size of the units, and there's 1 bath for 2-bedroom units. Also, there are no balconies or patios and no washer dryer hookups. However, the amenities do include a bocce ball court, a vegetable garden, elevator, laundry room, clubhouse, and fitness center, which both reports concluded that this mix is more acceptable for elderly housing, and demand is there. They had no concerns on lease up. And this was the first underwrite I did for this team. I was impressed with the thoroughness of their application, and they have been very responsive to every request for info. So I am, fingers crossed, it's a nicely run project on time and within budget. Any questions?
So if does it look like there's anything that you have to keep an eye on with them being that new, and just you're going to see some things for the first time?
They're not new, Greg.
No.
This is
This
Vesta.
is just the first time that you've seen them.
Oh, with
Yeah.
Webster, you mean? Oh, yes, with
Yeah.
me. Yes, Vesta is very well known to CHFA. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Vesta's a very well-established national organization. They've done a bunch of projects with us. They've been very successful in them. And the whole team in Econ, it's a good group.
And what about Webster, though?
This is the first time that Webster's participating with us in this structure. And we're going to probably, as the time goes by, we'll probably be bringing other upper tier investors that are providing the financing on these 4% structures that haven't done it with us before. We've only done a handful of these. The bulk of them have been done with Bank of America, but recently we've had some other investors that wanted to provide the construction lending on these 4%. So
Okay.
We'll vet them out. It's not an unusual structure in the industry. It's just a little newer to us over the past 2 to 3 years.
So we're basically providing an interim permanent loan, short term, right?
We're providing the perm loan on this, but what's happening is rather than with the investors, a lot of the upper tier investors are financial organizations, and they want to provide the construction debt as well so that they can increase their IRRs.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to have a tax exempt bond issuer issue tax exempt bonds during that construction period in order to meet the tests that are required under the IRS code, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is a structure that we've come up with that allows that to happen. So they can participate as the construction lender. We issue the bonds up front, and then we reinvest the bonds so there's no negative arbitrage.
Mm-hmm.
And we wait until construction is complete, and then we have to come in. Our funds have to be in for a minimum of 6 months. It's called safe harbor. So
Right.
we have to be in for a minimum of 6 months. But what we've done is created a structure that allows about a 4-month cushion. So on either side, so
Okay.
if construction extends past the, let's say 18 months, they have an additional 4 months before we run into a problem with the safe harbor. On the back end, if they meet their construction schedule and they're able to, and our funds are able to come in at 18 months, we're in for 6 months, and then they have a 4-month cushion on the back end to final close if they should have any issues with lease up. So the structure has seemed to be very acceptable to the market, and we've utilized this. I think we're about to final close the first one we did, or we may already have closed the team. Did we close Ellis? Yes. So we final closed Ellis. So the first one we have under our belts, we're done with it. So we've refined it a little bit since Ellis, but it seems to work very well. Sorry, that was a long explanation.
No, that's
No.
okay.
Good, though.
No, it's trying to understand the structure.
Pat, the closing's happening this afternoon.
Okay. Thanks, Joe.
Excuse me 1 second. Dawn, Sean was in the waiting room. Could you make sure that he gets in?
I'm
here.
I was gonna say, I just saw his name pop up, so I
Okay.
think we're good there.
Thanks.
Yep.
So I'm just going to ask the question. I appreciate the fact that we've got some amenities where people can be active, but not having a washer, dryer hookup and stuff like that. It just sounds strange to me that you'd have an elderly facility that doesn't have amenities where they can wash their clothes, but they have active physical fitness
But they got a
course.
bocce court instead.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
anybody else concerned about that?
They have a laundry room, Tim,
They have a
I'm
laundry
sorry.
room. Yeah.
There is a laundry room, and they often in the elderly facilities enjoy the socialization that comes with going to the laundry room rather than staying in their room doing laundry.
Yeah,
Okay. Thank you.
it's very common.
Anything else? Any issues? Any roadblocks you see? Liz, Pat?
No,
No, I like this one.
Okay. All right. Any other comments, questions, concerns? Hearing none, do we have a motion?
Motion to approve?
Thanks, Greg. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Thanks, Matt. Dawn?
Wendy Clark, Heidi DeWingert,
Aye.
Timothy Hodges,
Aye. Sorry.
you're good. Commissioner Mascara Bruno,
Yes.
Matt Puglisi,
Yes.
Chelsea Ross,
Yes.
Lisa Tepper Bates, Greg Ugalde,
Aye.
Sean Williams.
Yes.
The vote passes unanimously.
Okay, thank you. All right, next up on our agenda is the resolution regarding preliminary approval of the issuance of bonds for Avon Village in Avon, to be presented by Michelle.
Good morning, everybody. Yeah, so to give you a little bit of a background, oftentimes developers will ask about bond inducement resolutions and if we can provide one for their specific project. But it's not often that we actually need to entertain a request for a bond inducement separate from a financing resolution. But there are certain circumstances where that warrant this process, and this happens to be one of them. So typically, when the board approves a 4% transaction coupled with tax-exempt bonds, that board commitment for financing serves as the inducement, meaning the board resolution has established that start date by which a qualified costs are eligible to be paid from proceeds of those tax-exempt bonds. We have a unique situation here with Avon Village in that it goes back to your approval of the financing of the homes at Avon Park. You approved that last September, and that transaction just recently closed in December. It was a 4%, it was a transaction with Beacon Communities. They utilized 4% and 9% credits. And as I said, it just closed in December. Well, the closing of the homes at Avon Park also included the acquisition of a portion of the site that includes a vacant office building. That vacant office building is the future home of this site, Avon Village, right? So Avon Village is going to be the adaptive reuse of 76 affordable units. So what the IRS says is they allow developer to take an acquisition credit, which is calculated on the cost of the building, so long as the bond issuer has indicated their intent to issue the bonds within 60 days of that property acquisition. So that's where the problem arises here. This would mean that we would have to bring a financing recommendation to the mortgage committee and the board by mid-February. So we're cutting it very close there. Although we have the 4% application, we've been working on it with Beacon. It's substantially complete, and we will likely have that financing recommendation to you in February. We don't want to jeopardize that acquisition credit in case we don't make it. So this inducement resolution will preserve the equity generated from that acquisition credit and give Beacon a little bit of breathing room to solidify their proposal as well as their capital stack. So it's more of a timing issue here. We don't want them to lose that credit. I'm happy to answer any questions.
No. I mean, in the unlikely event that we didn't approve their credits,
Yep.
they would lose their equity contribution, but that's kind of their fault or problem, right?
It is, but I think then, there'd be a gap that we'd try to help them. We don't want to use any other scarce resources if we don't have to. They are trying to fill their gap with other sources in the meantime to get the capital stack solidified.
Any questions?
Does this appear to be a tool that we might see in the future a little more frequently?
It's a tool we could use. We've been asked to use it in the past. We've been able to satisfy our developers' needs when they've made these requests in the past. We don't want to have to do this all the time.
Right.
But in this unique situation, since this acquisition was part of a bigger acquisition that closed previously, in situations where we can preserve those costs, that basis in the next deal, we would present it. So we're not saying we wouldn't do it again. We may do it again.
Yeah,
we don't want this to become the norm, though.
Right.
And I think it's true, we're not obligated, correct, to issue these bonds. So just gives us a little bit more time to work through the details of the transaction.
Yeah.
Can you explain a little bit more of what kind of financial risk this, like CHFA is assuming by approving the inducement?
I believe the inducement is good for
3 years.
3 years, right, Pat? 3 years.
Yeah, it's good for 3 years, but this is just it's our saying that we intend to issue the bonds when the deal is complete. That means the deal has to be complete. So the only risk that we have is that if the deal is complete and we ultimately say no to it, I just don't see a situation, Chelsea, where that's going to be the case, where the deal's complete and we wouldn't approve. And again, I don't think this creates any obligation on us at all.
Okay. Anybody else? Any other questions? Okay, is there a motion to approve?
I make a motion.
Thanks, Selah. I'll second it. Dawn?
Wendy Clark, Heidi DeWingert,
Aye.
Timothy Hodges,
Aye.
Commissioner Mascara Bruno,
Yes.
Matt Puglisi,
Yes.
Chelsea Ross,
Yes.
Lisa Tepper Bates, Greg Ugalde,
Aye.
Sean Williams.
Yes.
The vote passes unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, resolution regarding the financing of Oak Tree Village 2 in Griswold to be presented by Trayvon.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Oak Tree Village 2 in Griswold, the financing request is taxable bonds, permanent only, and the amount of up to 2.8 million with a rate not to exceed 7.5%. Interest only period for 24 months, and an amortization and loan term of 35 years, and opportunity fund, in the amount of $1 million with a rate not to exceed 1%. Interest only period for 24 months, and the payment terms will be 25% of adjusted cash flow. So just a little bit on the project. It was a 2025 9% award, and it will be a mixed income rental community consisting of 60 units in Griswold. Um, this is the second phase. Phase one is complete and occupied and includes 72 units within two 3-story garden style buildings and a clubhouse. And phase two will be an additional 60 units and two 3-story garden style buildings, each containing 30 units. They are bordered by, the site is bordered by residential uses, vacant land, Griswold High School, and Route 395. And downtown Griswold is less than a mile away from the site and is serviced by a local bus service. And Mohegan Sun is also within 10 miles of the site. Just going into the rent structure, there will be 12 one-bedroom units at 30%, 16 one-bedroom units at 50%, 13 two-bedrooms at 50%, 7 two-bedrooms at 60%, and 12 two-bedroom market rate units. And the project has entered into an MOU with Chrysalis Center to provide supportive services for 12 units. And they also received approval for 11 Section 811 units. Other considerations, the proposed development aligns with the town of Griswold's affordable housing plan. The property will remain affordable for 50 years. The property will benefit from a part-time resident service coordinator on site, and the GC is an identity of interest, and the architect is from out of state. And some conditions, DOH review of procurement and GC contract, receipt of the DOH term sheet, and receipt of the construction lender's hard commitment, and some other sources included in this project other than DOH 9% LIHTC proceeds and the CHFA ask are energy rebates, deferred developer fee, and a GP loan.
Trayvon, what's an identity of interest for GC? What does that mean?
It's an affiliate.
Yep.
Oh.
So
Okay.
a lot of developers have their own general
Yeah.
contractor division.
Mm-hmm.
We consider those identities of interest.
Okay. All right. Any issues or roadblocks you see on this? On phase two, it seems pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
It looks like demand will hold up, right?
Mhm,
It seems to be priced pretty well.
Mhm.
Yep. No, it's nice. It's in the, and this is another project we have in the eastern part of Connecticut, so there's plenty of demand out there. So it's
Yeah,
nice
well,
to see our projects out there.
well located, I think.
Yeah.
Mm.
All right. Anybody else? Questions?
Just a question on the solar part of this. So the system, I don't know if this is typical or not. So the system is designed to offset just the common area bills. Is that right?
Jennifer?
Yeah.
Is Jennifer? Or go ahead, Joe.
I was just going to say, my understanding is that most of the solar capacity here is only going to generate enough to handle the common area utility costs and not anticipated to offset any resident, energy demand or anything like that. I think the size of that system was larger than the buildings could accommodate.
Sean, we can confirm that and we'll
I
respond.
mean, it's just a curiosity of mine. That seems to be, relatively speaking, common areas have got to be a infinitesimal percentage of overall bills, right?
Jesus.
And particularly with all buildings being electric and Connecticut having particularly high electric rates, it just interesting to me. I feel like there's probably somewhere in the middle between common areas and full coverage. I don't know enough about it to have a fully formed opinion on it. It's just interesting to me that we're only able to cover the common areas. But I don't. It's not really an objection, just a curiosity more than anything.
No, and we'll review it and get back to you. It could just simply be a limitation on the space available to install the PV panel. So let us take a look at it and we'll
And
provide you
the
a
one
response.
thing that happens too, Sean, with something like this is if you do it in the common areas, it makes it easier for the billing because everything else is per unit. This gives you a chance to just have it go to the owner. And so they cover that, not for everybody, and everybody covers their own unit. But it depends on how soon you can involve solar and whatever else you're going to do. So this being further along, it might be they want to at least try to introduce and take some advantage of some of the credits that are available and so on.
But is that the case though? Because in that same paragraph, it says, maybe Trayvon, you could correct me if I'm wrong, but it says the project will also include paid utilities to cover usage for heating, cooling, hot water at a minimum. Oh, so that doesn't include electricity?
Right.
Okay. Okay, that makes sense. Thank you.
Okay, anybody else? Okay, having no other comments, is there a motion?
Motion
So
to approve?
Yep. Thanks,
Second.
Greg. Thanks, Sean. Okay, Dawn?
Yes. Wendy Clark. Heidi DeWingert.
Aye.
Timothy Hodges.
Aye.
Commissioner Mascara Bruno.
Yes.
Matt Puglisi.
Yes.
Chelsea Ross.
Yes.
Lisa Tepper Bates. Greg Ugalde.
Aye.
Sean Williams.
Yes.
Vote passes unanimously.
Okay, thank you. Next up is too many to enunciate. So
Heidi,
this a big
This is a big one.
big one. Michelle, it's
Heidi,
in good
before we
hands.
do
It's a resolution regarding the financing of a lot of projects. Very interesting deal.
Yes, it's an interesting one.
Go ahead, Michelle.
Go ahead, Pat. Did you want to say something?
I just wanted to say something. Sean, I got clarification from Jennifer. The solar is part of the QAP, and this is a requirement. The requirement for the point is 90% coverage of the common area spaces. So what they did was they provided the minimum necessary to achieve the points in the competitive round in 2025.
Got it. Thank you for checking on that.
Sure.
Pat, let's put that in our conversation because I see also the point of having electric and how expensive it is for the residents. So will we park that in the QAP?
Good.
Thanks.
Sorry,
Okay,
Michelle, go ahead.
that's okay.
That's okay. Okay, so yeah, I think this is a first for us here, but this is an interesting one. Subsidized Housing Partners and its affiliates is the owner of 13 properties comprising 1,375 units across 10 towns in Connecticut. These properties are primarily designated as elderly housing, and they all benefit from project-based Section 8 housing contracts. The properties, the portfolio of properties is encumbered by one or more mortgage loans in favor of CHFA, and there's an aggregate balance of approximately $68 million right now. CHFA, SHP, let me get my acronyms right. SHP has been interested in selling this portfolio for quite some time now, and they have entered into and executed purchase and sale contracts with Related Affordable Housing to buy these properties. So Related approached CHFA and presented us with a proposal that would allow them to first acquire all of these properties in a single transaction, but more importantly, preserve them and revitalize each of these properties over the course of the next 4 years. So the plan would begin with a taxable bridge loan provided by CHFA. That loan, together with equity from Related, would be used to acquire the properties, at which point SHP would pay off all of the existing CHFA debt. The next piece of that transaction will occur over the next 3 to 4 years, at which time Related will recapitalize the portfolio. They will utilize low-income housing tax credits with our tax-exempt bonds, which will be used to finance significant renovations at each of these properties. The properties will be prioritized with the largest and most, time-sensitive physical needs occurring in the first year. And as each new tax credit preservation transaction closes, our bridge loan will get paid down and the renovations to that specific property will commence. So right now, the taxable bridge loan that we're asking you to approve is an amount of up to $150 million. The interest rate will be variable based on monthly SOFR plus 210 basis points. Today, that equates to a rate of about 5.8%. But for purposes of this approval, we're going to put a ceiling on that at 7.5%. The bridge loan will be a 4-year term, debt coverage minimum 1.25, and loan to value cannot exceed 80%. The way we envision this is there'll be 13 entities, co-borrowers, Related entities will all be co-borrowers on the CHFA loan. And if there is an amount not paid after that 4-year term, the balance will automatically convert to a perm loan based on a 10-year treasury plus 250 basis points. Currently, that rate is about 6.79. At closing, Related is also going to capitalize a reserve of $2.6 million. That reserve will be used in the interim in case there are any immediate capital physical needs that need to be done. We understand that this is a significant loan. Of course, we did commission an appraiser, and he has completed all 13 appraisals. And we can confirm, I'm still going through them all, but we can confirm right now that the total value of the portfolio does exceed the purchase price. We know SHP has done a really good job. We've had these projects in our portfolio for quite some time. They've done a great job maintaining the properties, but they are old and tired and really need to be renovated. And we think that having a well-established, sophisticated developer such as Related to take this on and become the owner of this portfolio is also a big plus for us. So we'll have 1,375 renovated units across Connecticut that'll remain affordable for more than 40 years. So I will pause there. And
so you've got an appraisal. So do we know how much of that bridge loan could be used? And we have a debt coverage ratio, so we kind of can calculate, right?
Yeah. Yep.
What's the number? Do you know?
So so right now we're at about 145.8.
Oh.
But we want to put a little cushion on that. As I said, I'm still going through the appraisals.
Mm-hmm.
But according to the appraiser, yes, we're at about 145.8.
How do we monitor sort of the progress Related? I mean, I know they're very experienced,
Mm-hmm.
but we gave them a lot of time, 4 years. How do we know that they're sort of moving expeditiously?
Right. Yeah, we've already received 2 applications.
Wow.
So yeah, I mean, they did give us a really detailed schedule of how they envision this happening, which projects, when the applications will be coming to CHFA for the financing.
Mm-hmm.
Keep in mind, we do have replacement reserves on all of these properties that we're holding, and we will continue to hold those. So that will be in addition to the 2.6 that Related's bringing to the table. So we're going to continue to monitor those reserves in case of any, issues.
Whose money gets used first, theirs or ours?
Theirs.
Okay, good.
Michelle, if I may, we're also, I think in March, I'll be bringing these for inducements, similar to what we did with Avon Village, so that they can continue to claim that basis. That they have only 3 years to transact on all of these from the date of our inducement. Otherwise, they will lose the opportunity to add their costs into the transaction. So they'll be properly motivated to move these transactions along. We fully expect, we're actually hoping that we can kind of keep them at bay so that we could do we're not overwhelmed by the applications. But it's our full expectation that they'll get through all these deals well within the 4-year period. And Michelle, I'm not sure if you mentioned, but these are all project-based Section 8.
All project-based Section 8, yeah. All but one are elderly. They're all fully occupied. So, obviously we'll be looking at, relocation plans, and we'll be involved in all of that. So
yeah, and for the board members that don't know, project-based Section 8 is a voucher system, but the vouchers are actually attached to the units, not to the person, so they're not portable. So they always stay at these properties. The owners execute contracts with HUD, and those contracts are usually good for 20 years at a time. As part of this preservation transaction, as they move forward, they'll be extending those HAP agreements, those project-based Section 8 agreements. And historically, HUD has continued, the federal government has continued to fund that program, and we don't see any risk that will not be funded going on into the future. It's never been talked about in terms of taking those funds away. So this is a very, very secure source of income. And what that does for the project is it provides them fair market value rents on all their units, even though the people who occupy those units are in affordable bands. So for instance, if you make $50,000 a year, you pay 30% of your income roughly on a monthly basis. And then the HAP contract makes up the difference between what you can afford to pay and what the market rate, or what the fair market rate established by HUD is. So these properties throw off a pretty significant amount of cash. And that's why we're able to underwrite this at such a high dollar amount, even though it's an affordable project.
And also, just to note, Related isn't taking any fee no developer fee at this point. It wouldn't be until we do each of the deals. So it's Related equity in our funds to make this happen.
Yeah, and we're estimating the Related equity at this point at around $44 million.
Wow. How large a balance sheet do they have now?
Very large. I believe they have over 100,000 units nationwide. I'll get that information for you, but
I'm just curious.
They're significant. They're one of the largest in the country.
And many of the HAP contracts that are in place now go out into the 2034, 2035. We have a couple of ones that'll need to be renewed sooner. But again, that's all in this plan of which ones we're going to do first. So
there's a lot of work here.
Yeah, and
it'll be great though. I think it'll be great.
I like it. I think it's a win-win.
I think it'll be a great.
Anybody questions, comments? No questions for Michelle?
I think Michelle's disappointed.
No. That's okay. If you think of any, I'm always around.
Yeah. Thank you. No, this is really very interesting. All right. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved, Heidi. Chelsea.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second, Tim.
Okay. Thanks, Tim. All right, Don, please.
Yep. Wendy Clark. Heidi DeWingert.
Aye.
Timothy Hodges.
Aye.
Commissioner Mascara Bruno.
Yes.
Matt Puglisi.
Yes.
Chelsea Ross.
Yes.
Lisa Tepper Bates. Greg Ugalde.
Aye.
Sean Williams.
Yes.
Vote passes unanimously.
Thank you. Okay, next up is the resolution regarding the reservation of tax credits for Village at Park River 6A and 6B by Trayvon.
Aye. Yep, the board action is to approve allocations of 2026 9% low-income housing tax credits in the amount of 840,000 for Village at Park River 6A and 1,050,000 for Village at Park River 6B to replace the 2023 allocations of LIHTC returned in December of 2025. So just a little on the project. They were both 9% awardees in 2023. 6A is 32 units and 6B is 44 units. These are the final phases for this project and resulting in 394 units. The developments are substantially complete. The buildings were finished in July 2025, and all the work that was within the control of the developer has been completed. They ran into some delays with the Metropolitan District Commission. On their water and sewer connections. Their review and approval process took about 6 months longer than anticipated. So due to these delays, the development cannot meet the December 31st, 2025 placed in service deadlines. So to prevent the loss of these LIHTCs, CHFA and developer executed mutual exchanges of the 2023 LIHTCs for both phases in December before the end of the calendar year, and we were able to reallocate those return credits to be used in 2025.
I just want to add, because I spoke with Carmen at Penrose on Friday. They have their COs and they're going to be starting lease up. So, and Heidi, this is a return and exchange that we've talked about a bunch of times. It's an administrative function. There are a few that still have language that requires us to bring the exchange to the board. But Rob has included language in the newer deals that lowers this down to Nandini's level for approval. So there's a few of these that you may still see, but the number is dwindling.
Yeah, it's a lot of work for you guys for, an exchange.
Right.
Okay. Any questions? Nope. I'll move it. Is there a second?
Second, Tim.
Thanks, Tim. Don?
Wendy Clark. Heidi Wingert.
Aye.
Tim Hodges. Tim, you muted yourself.
Yep, I know. Couldn't get off. Thanks. Aye.
Thank you. Commissioner Mascara-Bruno.
Yes.
Matt Puglisi.
Yes.
Chelsea Ross.
Yes.
Lisa Tepper Bates. Greg Ugalde.
Aye.
Sean Williams.
Yes.
The vote passes unanimously.
Thank you. Okay, now we have the resolution for financing Willow Creek Apartments Phase 4 to be presented by Liz.
This is another request for 4% LIHTC financing. This is for Phase 4 of the Willow Creek development in Hartford, actually right next to Village of Park River that Trayvon just spoke of. This is going to add 56 units to the planned approximately 400 unit total. The units will consist of studios, 1 bedroom and 2 bedroom, with rents limited to 25, 50, 60, and 80% AMIs. The development team is well known to CHFA, and this one is structured like 143 Percival, Windward, Ellis Street, and others, with B of A providing the construction lending. And again, CHFA will come in at construction completion with our tax-exempt bonds, pay off the construction loan. We'll be in for 6 to 10 months. Financing this project has many sources. We've got LIHTC, investment tax credits, energy rebates, developer equity, deferred developer fee, CHFA tax-exempt bonds, DOH, and CIF funds. I just received the appraisal this morning and the market study. I haven't really had time to review them, but a quick scan of the appraisal valued the land over $6 million and as complete almost $36 million. So we have very low loan to value. We also have very strong occupancies at the existing phases, ranging at phase 1, 2, and 3 have occupancies raising at 92 to 100%. And a report from the Housing Authority City of Hartford reported a waiting list over, I think they said 500 or 5,000. I toured the site with two of our asset managers, and on the door of the clubhouse was a sign, "We're not accepting additional waitlist entries at this time." And so lease up is not anticipated to be an issue at all. The one issue with this is the high per square foot and unit costs compared to 143 Percival and other projects. Our ACS team worked very closely with the borrower to understand the high costs. This has Davis Bacon, this has geothermal and high site costs. I think they were generally accepted, but they are 29% deviation from our expected costs.
So that was interesting, reading through these packages, the per unit cost of the first two projects versus this project, significant to your right.
It got a lot of discussion at credit committee, and we did a lot of follow-up. And I don't know if Jennifer's on, but we just concluded it is high.
Yeah. Well, you've got those two factors. Your prevailing wage rates add a significant amount. I don't know that it's in the 7-figure range. And then your geothermal is another expense up front. It's a development cost, but it does work to save the operation some expenses throughout its lifespan. But those two alone are a significant factor in the pricing difference.
So I love the idea that we've got geothermal, but we just talked about solar. Is there some way to do both, or is it? I know it's the cost prohibitive in some cases, but it's nice to know that at least some of this is renewable.
Yes, we're big fans of renewable, but you get to a point where as you layer on these different renewable efforts, it becomes increasingly expensive, and you get to a tipping point where you don't get the returns, and B, you can't close the gaps on the capital needs to get these deals across the line. So it's a very tough balancing act for us. As much as we really want to, be out there promoting sustainability and renewable resources, we have an obligation to create affordable housing, and we can't let that get in the way of our development. So we try to do a good balance with all these projects.
Pat, did this was this one of the projects that was going for the greenhouse gas reduction fund until that money was no longer available? Perhaps could that explain? I see Liz nodding.
It was, yes, Nandini.
Yeah.
That would also explain some of the costs
the cost per unit.
And the fact that it's not covered by a corresponding source.
Right.
Yeah.
And you said, Liz, the early indications show that there aren't really any issues with the appraisals?
No, it looks very strong.
Okay.
Okay, anybody else? Any other comments, questions? I mean, when you're into the phase 4, I think, it gets a little easier. All right, is there a motion to approve? Somebody?
So moved.
Somebody?
Okay.
Thanks, Sean.
Second. Okay, Don?
Sure. I'm sorry, I missed who did the second. I apologize.
Well,
I guess I'll do it. It's Tim.
thanks, Tim.
Thank you. Wendy Clark. Heidi DeWingert.
Aye.
Timothy Hodges.
Aye.
Commissioner Mascaro Bruno.
Yes.
Matt Puglisi.
Yes.
Chelsea Ross.
Yes.
Lisa Tepper Bates. Greg Ugalde.
Aye.
Sean Williams.
Yes.
The vote passes unanimously.
Thank you. Okay, now the minutes from our meeting of November 18th. Any comments, changes?
Motion to approve?
Thanks, Greg.
Second, Matt.
Thanks, Matt. Okay, Don?
Wendy Clark. Heidi DeWingert.
Aye.
Timothy Hodges.
Aye.
Commissioner Mascaro Bruno.
Yes.
Matt Puglisi.
Yes.
Chelsea Ross,
Yes.
Lisa Tepper Bates, Greg Ugalde,
Aye.
Sean Williams.
I'm gonna abstain because I wasn't there.
Thank you. The vote passes with one abstention.
Thank you. Okay, and
Heidi,
finally,
Excuse me,
sorry.
Heidi.
Yep.
I just want to raise an issue. So Lisa was unable to attend because of the 10 o'clock time on this, and I was wondering if we could just discuss maybe moving this from 10 to either 10:30 or 11 going forward. We'd have to go back to the board to change that, but Lisa's been a strong voice in the mortgage committee for years, and I don't think that we as a group want to lose her input in our transaction. So I'd like to see if we can accommodate either at 10:30 or 11 o'clock time.
Well, I agree with that 100%. I don't want to lose her either. How does all the other committee members feel about 10:30 or 11?
I think 10:30 to 11 is great.
No, 10:30 or 11.
Oh.
It's fine by me.
I can make
Right.
either. I can make either work.
Okay.
Think,
Greg, you're
okay.
our oldest serving.
I think that can work too.
Is okay. Is one better than the other for you? I mean,
Probably 10:30.
yeah.
I didn't realize you were the oldest serving, Greg. Congratulations.
No problem.
He doesn't look that old.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure it was that flattering, but I'm happy to go with it.
How about most consistent, most attended, most meetings? I'm really getting myself into trouble today. Anybody else? Sean, you said that's okay. Matt,
Is okay.
Chelsea, how
Yeah,
about
it was
you?
okay.
As the brand new member, 10:30 would be better for me, but I'll make either work.
Okay.
And Commissioner?
I think Bernie will make it work. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't own my calendar.
Okay.
Yeah, Lisa had said that even 10:30 would help her. She has a standing senior team meeting with United Way, and given everything that's been going on lately, I think she really wanted to see if we could accommodate her. So
Okay.
Nandi, do you know what time her meeting actually is? Is it start at 10 o'clock?
I think so, but she said 10:30 would work, and she'll make that work. So
I'll propose 11, but I'll go with 10:30 if it works for everyone.
I mean, I'm going with what she's told me, and she said even 10:30 would help her. So I'm hoping that is
all right.
Okay.
I'll reach out to her and let's go discuss it at the board meeting.
So
certainly.
Would we address it this board meeting on
Yeah,
Thursday?
we'd have
Yes?
to address
Okay.
it this board meeting
Okay.
because the reporting to the Secretary of State has to be before January 1st. So we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it. The question is 10:30 or 11. So if this committee would give us either 10:30 or 11, then we can just ask Lisa her preference and put that into the schedule. So if we think 11 would work, then I'll do that, or
If everyone can make it, I would
Close to
suggest
11?
we just ask, I would just say ask Lisa, but either one I'll make work.
Okay. Is that true for others? And Commissioner, you think 11 would work for you, or
Did we have though? I think it sounded like there is some preference for 10:30, but I think we could make 11 work also. Say,
Okay.
After you talk to her.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Heidi.
Okay, sure. All right, reports, home ownership report to be presented by Andrew.
Yes, good morning. This is the 2025 year-end home ownership report. Go to the next slide. Our agenda for this report is as usual, talking about our reservations, first mortgage, lenders, down payment programs, demographics, geographic and market share estimates as well. Next slide. So you'll see in this report that CHFA had another pretty historic year, and that was in the face of some pretty significant market headwinds for first-time homebuyers. Last year, for sale inventory, basically what is available for sale, remained significantly constrained. The state had 73% less average monthly listings than 2019. That's the largest deficit of any state. 61% of all homes sold above their list price in Connecticut, compared to just 27% nationally. And then the median time on market was down to just 41 days from 71 or 72 days in 2019. And then obviously mortgage rates remained elevated, averaging about 6.6% last year. Next slide. So again, in the face of that, demand for CHFA products remains strong. We received nearly 4,000 reservations last year. That's 8.5% higher than 2024, and the highest annual total since 2018. Next slide. In total, we purchased nearly 3,800 loans, totaling again above $1 billion. That is the highest actual dollar volume in our history, eclipsing even the high we set last year. The median loan amount last year was $282,000 with a median interest rate of 6.38. Next slide. Again, I mentioned that year-end total of roughly 3,800 loans. That's 97% of the 2024 levels. And again, we exceeded the total dollar volume by about 5% year over year. Next slide. A little bit about our first mortgage lender activity. Our top lenders were Total Mortgage, First World, CMG, Movement, and Annie Mac. Those are top five. Together, they account for roughly 55% of our total lending volume. Next slide. On DAP, we purchased 818 DAP loans, totaling about $9.5 million. This is separate from the time to own activity on the next slide, where you will see that we purchased just above 2,700 time to own loans, just narrowly exceeding what we did last year with this program. Next slide. And then again, similar to last year, roughly half of our borrowers are borrowers of color, with this year about 49% borrowers of color. Next slide. And then again, we see kind of similar geographic trends where we see strong lending in kind of the central part of the state, down into like the Waterbury area into New Haven, with our top five towns being Waterbury, Bristol, New Britain, Meriden, and East Hartford. And then finally, just to talk about our first-time homebuyer market share estimates. In 2025, we estimate that we made up about 26% of all first-time homebuyers in Connecticut, and that is up slightly from last year as well. And then you can see for those that haven't seen this methodology before, the way this works is we take the total number of closings in a certain time frame divided by CHFA closings divided by the total number of home sales times 30%, which is what the National Association of Realtors estimates is the share of overall sales that are to first-time homebuyers. And then on the next slide, the same first-time homebuyer market share estimates, but by geography in this case, where we can see that we had strong market share in the central part of the state down into, again, the southeastern part. And we had an over 50% market share in 21 towns in 2025. So pretty significant usage of our programs. And then the next slide, I'd be happy to take any questions.
Hey, Andrew, Tim Hodges, I'm going to ask a dumb question and reserve the right to ask it again because I'll forget the answer. If you go back a few slides, there, in terms of the Dawn, can you just go back a few slides? Keep going. There's like half the. Keep going. Well, I think one more. Yeah. So the down payment assistance.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe you mentioned this, but it was in 2024 is, there's 1,200 there, and then we're down to 550. What's the reason for that?
Sure. I mean, I'll let Lisa chime in here if she would like, but late last year we made a programmatic change to say that those that use time to own cannot also use DAP. So we kind of decoupled those two programs.
Okay, thank you. I won't ask that question again. I'll remember that. I'll remember that.
And we won't remember that you already asked it, so it doesn't matter.
There you
go. This is always the statistics at the beginning that the times going down to 40 days, and the percentage of inventory. It's just amazing.
Right.
Connecticut has so little inventory, and all those units above asking. It's crazy.
You'll be
That-
happy to know that we're piloting a new program on, if Lisa wants to talk about it, because it's really her baby, but we know how limited we are in inventory, and then we also know how expensive it is to construct new homes.
Mhm.
But what CHFA can do, at least in one of those spaces, is help bring back currently existing inventory that may be in need of renovation. And so, Lisa, you want to just touch briefly? I know we only have 2 minutes, so.
Sure. Yes. So what we're going to do is we're going to offer both. You're probably familiar with the FHA 203K program. There's a limited and then a standard, which allows you to do more than with the limited. And we've always been able to offer the limited, but not the standard. And the same with conventional loans. We haven't been able to offer the conventional loans. But what it's going to do is it's going to allow people to take advantage of financing not only the cost of the home, but also the cost of renovations at the time they purchase. So even homes that may not be, up to FHA standards or conventional standards now, they still have an opportunity to purchase them and fix those items. So it's hopefully, I mean, with our aging homes here, I think that would be a really, we're hoping it's going to be a very successful program.
Great. Sounds interesting.
Every little bit helps for sure.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Any other questions? All right. Quickly, we have the multifamily activities report to be presented by Yezi.
I apologize.
Joe.
I am pinch hitting for Yessie today, so
Okay.
if you were hoping to see and hear from her, I apologize for the disappointment. The multifamily report, we had plugged our development spotlight in for the Village of Park River in light of today's board action for both Village and Willow Creek. For most of the historians on the board, Westbrook and Bowles was Housing Authority RFP almost 10 years ago. So to see the trajectory of what we've been able to accomplish in that time is remarkable, with Village of Park River being developed by Penrose, Willow Creek by JHM. We've basically turned over the entire site, and this basically gives you a deeper dive than what Trayvon and Liz pointed out earlier. Moving on to our pipeline, very strong projection for 2026. We have fairly strong pipeline in terms of developments at 116 and total units at 8,200. Moving over to the year-over-year comparisons, you can see that these numbers are fairly consistent with what they were in 2025. We will point out, however, that we expect some of this pipeline to increase, especially with the 4% tax-exempt bond portion of our pipeline having moved on to the 25% test in terms of volume cap and tax exempt bond authority that we can issue. It creates an opportunity for us to stretch that volume cap over a larger number of projects. So while we haven't quite made the projections, we do know that some of the early applications coming in, it's going to provide for a sizable increase to our pipeline going forward. Next, the Small and Emergency Loan Committee over the last quarter. Sorry, Dawn, I skipped a page, but I'm just going to move on to the Emergency Loan Committee since we owe the board an update here. Over the past quarter, the Small and Emergency Loan Committee approved additional financing for New Kensington Square with tax exempt bond and taxable being exchanged here. Both were included in the original board resolution, so we did not exceed any prior limits established by the board. but we did help them to meet their 50% test and keep the project viable. Northside Terraces, we increased the tax-exempt bond construction loan again to preserve the 50% test requirements due to increased construction costs over the course of the development schedule. So both were rescue operations that we successfully performed. And then Village of Park River, I'm sorry, Parcel B, Phase 1, which is a 9% transaction. We provided additional taxable bond financing to supplement our prior approval of 875,000. So those are the updates from what the small loan committee approved, keeping the limits under that agreed upon $1 million limit. And then lastly, I'll just let you know that over the past year, we had a very strong last quarter with 14 initial closings and 13 final closings. Some of these initial closings went right up to December 30th, which made for a fantastic holiday season. But the amount of work that was provided by staff, both in multifamily finance, legal, making sure that all of these transactions hit their deadlines, and some of them were again, deadlines established by investors who really wanted to get deals closed in 2025 to fit into their investment funds. We really turned over every stone and put our sneakers on to make sure we got these done before 12/31. So very successful 2025. Looking forward to a successful 2026 coming up. And if you're interested in what might be coming up, on the last page, we've highlighted some of the projects that we expect you to see coming up in the next 3 to 6 months. One particular one that we've highlighted, Hartford Trade School, is a project being developed by a joint venture with Boston Communities and Arch Street Development. It's the Hartford Trade School, which was again put up for RFP by the city of Hartford, and it's been used as a warming shelter previously, but this proposal is going to develop it into 57 affordable units right in the heart of the Capital District, a couple of blocks from DOH's offices, and probably 6 blocks away from Hartford Hospital. So very exciting new opportunity in the city, and one of the projects we're looking to highlight for 2026. Any questions?
Terrific. Thank you. That was, it's a lot of hard work, especially with those deadlines, the year end. So good job, everyone. I mean, it sounds like 2025 was a very, very good year. So thanks for all your hard work. Any questions, comments? I know we're slightly over, so thank you, everyone. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Is there a second? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everybody. Good seeing you.
Have a
Thank
great
you.
day.
Reports. Great reports at the end again.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right, take care.